That's how that song goes. Although, after listening to it just now, he might be saying C, just in a really funny way. So, who knows? We used to shout that at each other when working construction, building houses. Me and my crew like to listen to a lot of reggae. So, we would shout "squeeb" at each other all the time. And we thought it was the funniest thing. Good morning. You're on the lifeboat. This is your captain speaking, Captain Calhoun. What's goody in the hoodie? I woke up with a mighty fine TED Talk today. I'm going to tell you guys about it. Davey, welcome in, welcome in. Hey, hey. Lynn Sanity. Yeah, unless you're trying to sleep. That definitely sounds way too interesting for me to fall asleep to. I have to put something on that's really boring or something that I'm super familiar with in order for me to fall asleep listening or watching. Like I have to put something on I've seen a bunch of times or something I don't want to see the ending, right? I don't care. Because if I am interested at any point, it is really hard to check out and go to bed. Shannon Smith, hello there. Blessed to Crochet. Jason P., my brother. What's going on? Seventh Son, always a pleasure. Hello, hello, hello. Ben Bacon Bits, the Better Bacon Bureau. I tried to type that in chat the other day and realized I don't know how to spell bureau, so I stopped. Can I have a confession to make? I don't know how to spell bureau. There's too many EAUs in that word. Probably just one EAU, but I don't know if it goes before or after the R. So there you have it, folks. There you have it, folks. Scrolling. Jennifer Lemke, good morning. Been a while. I'll be back when it starts. Hope y'all been good. I have been fantastic. Thank you for asking. Kristen, hello there. Replay crew this morning. Just pulled into the parking lot at the new job. Squeep. Let's go. Ooh, wow. Squeep. That song is still playing over there on my radio. Beta, what's going on? Dang, Shannon Smith's got it down. See, that looks proper and everything. When I start trying different formations of the word, none of them looked good. But that is, I would have to say, that's probably it. I mean, I don't. Deaudre Gore, what is going on? Tina Marie, Debbie P. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. It's Monday. Let's start this week off right. Monday doesn't have to be terrible. Kristen's starting a new job today. I bet you her day is going to be pretty cool. Going to be at least interesting in the highest, Going to be doing new stuff with new people, new processes. I like that kind of stuff. I like new wrinkles on my brain, I like doing new stuff. It's novel, like my dad likes to say. Speaking of, did you guys catch his show last night? It was epic. It was epic. That was a banger. I turned it on and I couldn't turn it off. I tried. Aryeh Schleider, what's going on? It's Monday, brother. What's going on? Tell me some good news, Daddy-O. Wally, what is going on? Yeah, good luck, Kristen. I think you're going to kill it. Yeah, good to see you, Aryeh. We have been thinking about you, and we've been putting them ones up for you in our hearts. So, yeah, I was watching a TED Talk this morning, and the title was How the U.S. is... I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it justice now. It was basically about a transfer of wealth from the young to the old, is what it was talking about. And it had a bunch of different metrics about like college in the 80s and college now, and the median home price is going up, and the minimum wage is still $9. It should probably be 25. I definitely am not educated enough to say all of it, but it was so intriguing, so intriguing. It's certainly, the way that he laid it out seems like capital versus like labor is a big disparity. We have a capital gains exemption on taxes, I guess. One of the things that the dude said was, since when what was the word he used? Since when is capital more glorified than work done with sweat or something like that? Like, don't you think it should be flipped? Shouldn't we have a sweat labor? Shouldn't we have an exemption for on the other side versus capital gain exemption? Like, since when, noble is the word that he used. Since when is it more noble to earn money with capital rather than sweat? And I thought that was pretty profound. And it also had, I don't know if I can pull it up. Maybe another time, but it was so intriguing to me. And then at the end, he had like resolutions, like what we can do. And it's interesting. That we have the money to fix what's going on. We have the know-how. The hard part, finding the funds, is already done. Allocating them and then sticking to it is the issue. And the people, it's funny, he brought up a slide of the people in office, and it's like The Walking Dead, and I forgot the joke he used to make fun of Nancy Pelosi, but it was pretty funny, and it's pretty accurate. Like, how can Nancy Pelosi relate to a 17-year-old that's just trying to make it in the world? You know what I mean? Like, she can't, period. The people that are making decisions in our country. I probably shouldn't talk about politics. My dad tells me not to, but just this TED Talk about people under 34 being generally not proud Americans, and also not having as much opportunity, not nearly as much. I sent it to my grandpa. I'm very curious to see what he thinks, because that's the person I usually talk politics with. I feel like we don't see eye to eye at all, but we're both intelligent and we love each other. So it makes for a good conversation. We both learn a lot. But yeah, I want to backtrack. I don't want to talk about politics, but man, that TED Talk was so intriguing, guys. I have to say, Blake Richardson, what's going on that second or third account? Welcome in. I'm glad to see you, Blake. Always happy to see you. Sarah Lane, hello. We have some news from REA, I see. Happy, healthy, little small 5.5 pounder. Let's go. Let's go, dude. You're a dad now. I mean, you were always a dad in your heart, I'm sure, but you're like a real dad now. It's real. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. May all the blessings befall you and your family. And yeah, dude, I can't wait to talk to you about it in Discord. Can't wait to get together and hang out a little. I know you're busy and you got stuff going on and whatnot, but I just can't wait to hear the silky tones of REA's voice talking about his family. I'm super excited. Super excited for you. Got the death grip on this trophy here. Piano Mom, hey there. What's going on? We are starting the week off right here. That's correct. Aaron F, hello. Hello. Shauna Amadan. Aaron F. Wow. Heck yeah, guys. We're doing it. Everyone, Mommy's doing well. Fantastic. I haven't either, Davey. I've just been focusing on completely different things. Yeah, tell Mom congrats as well, for sure. Good morning, Brazy girl. It's funny, when I see you, Brazy, I think of tincture time. It's like you guys go together now in my mind. I don't know. Last night after we parted ways, I was eating dinner, and by the way, the spaghetti meatball was, it was so good. Way better than I thought. But anyways, I was sitting here eating dinner, just doing my thing, and I started to get a little tummy rumbling, and it has been so long since I have been doing Tink Time. I forgot that, you can get a little, I don't know if it was cramps or just a little warmth in there, but I forgot that there was more to happen. And that was kind of cool, kind of interesting. It didn't keep me up. I didn't have any trouble, but it did say hello from my stomach, which was kind of neat. It's because Brazy's so hot, says Sevens. Just like that. Brazy's like, hold up. It's good to see you guys. I wish I could talk more about that TED Talk. I guess if I had prepared properly, I could, right? Usually I just wing the mornings, though. It would be a lot. It would be a heck of a lot to create 2 shows a day, I think. It makes for a lonely lady kiss freak. Uh-oh. Absolutely blessed to crochet. What's tomorrow? Tuesday? I don't have any plans for tomorrow, so let's put you in there. And remind me, is your normal time 11:30 Pacific, or pardon me, we'll go your time, right? So is it 3 p.m. Eastern or 2:30 Eastern? Remind me your reg time, and I'm gonna write it down this time, I promise. I probably have it written down. I'm just not the most organized individual, guys. But that's something I'm changing currently. You guys should see my house. It's getting there. It's getting there. Let's make a new one. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it certainly makes a difference for us. Catch myself at 5 p.m. Pacific time this evening. Catch the Admiral 7:30 p.m. Pacific time this evening, and Carol at Needing a Meeting 1:40 p.m. Pacific time weekdays. Support all our ripples; they are numerous. And also, Blessed to Crochet will be in tomorrow, I believe noon Pacific time. But we're gonna wait. We're gonna go over that again in just a sec when she hits me with that time. Pretty sure that's her normal time. My place is looking so lovely, Davey. I actually have taken to opening the blinds all the way during the day, so I can see what's going on outside and let the sunlight in, and I'm not embarrassed because all my stuff looks good, 2:30 Eastern. All right, so 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time. Blessed to Crochet will be on the Lifeboat. Valerie 102. Yo, we were talking about you the other day. I've been thinking about you. How are you? So happy to see you. We were talking about that one time that I did Tink and it sucked. And then I was like, oh, I miss Valerie. That was yesterday. I do like a good hat, I have to say. Thank you, Tina. I have another one that was a gift, but it's a little small. I feel like it's one of those hats I would have to wear like cocked to the side, and I wouldn't be able to wear it in any high winds. But it's really cool. You guys want to see here? Let's go grab it. Sometimes I hide my hair with my hat. Check this bad Biakum out, dude. I think this one's pretty neat. It is definitely, I think, made for a slightly smaller head, but maybe in some kind of costume or something, it would be really, really cool. But otherwise, I mean, it's like it's a legit straw hat too. It's like woven. Kind of look like I'm from the 60s or something, or what is that? The 50s? My hair looks so bad, guys. Oh my gosh. So my grandma is going to be real disappointed that I didn't get the sides cut of my hair, and I thought I had decided I was going to grow it all out, but the longer these sides get, the more discouraged I am. I look more and more like a tramp. I look more and more like that dog from Lady and the Tramp every day, and I hate it. I might end up shaving the sides here. That would be over a year of progress as far as length. And again, is it even to be thought about like that? Is it ever going to look normal again? It's always going to be a different length than the rest of my hair. I don't know. Wow, it's just playing that one song over and over. I can't handle it, guys. Wow. Squeep. Millie the Dandelion, welcome in. Dawn Meredith, hey there. Being accountable, it's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. Squeep. Jason P knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to scroll up and see what Valerie said. I'm glad you're getting better, Val. Heck yeah, dude. Interesting. I didn't know you lived in a mining town, Brazy. I was doing research the other morning on block cave mining because I had watched a video or read a story about block cave mining. I believe that's correct. 7th. I think that is low key your funniest joke yet. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. You say one side of your head grows hair better than the other side? Interesting. That's how it is with my facial hair. I have like I guess you can't tell anymore. It used to become very, very imbalanced. It seems to be spotty and balanced about it, balanced about the spottiness. But it used to grow way thicker on one side. I even forget which side it was at this point. It's all kind of the same now. See that? Punched right there, and now hair doesn't grow. Jen Otney Hobbs, what is going on? Have I ever gone spelunking in nearby caves? I have never been spelunking. I think I would be down. Definitely like outside of my comfort zone. Definitely a scary thing. But I mean, everything good once upon a time was outside of my comfort zone. So, I mean, I'm definitely down to try it out. Nickel mining city of 165,000. Interesting. I'm going to do some research on that, Brazy. I wonder. Yeah, I feel like my coffee just hit. I'm like almost done with it, but it takes a while to get there. You enjoyed a good spelunking when you were younger, Valerie? I wonder if there's any caves around here. There probably are. There's probably a bunch of there's definitely cliff dwellings and stuff like that, but Tommy Bird, good morning. We're doing Monday the right way, baby. Just in here chopping it up, talking about mining and what were we talking about before? TED Talks. Talking about things that don't make us very happy. Haven't cut my hair since 2019. It's time. Getting done sick of it, huh? This is also my second mug. Although my mug holds half of my pitcher. My Brazy mug is pretty sweet. It holds half the pitcher. So technically I'm on my second half of the whole pot. My mouth fits differently around my teeth now. I have to relearn how to whistle. Can you guys whistle? You guys whistlers? So I found out today my application for funding an eye tracker device for my daughter was rejected. Eye tracker device for my daughter. So looking for other possibilities, other foundations, but it's a little bummer for today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Beta. Eye tracker device. Is that to help your daughter see? Let's get some ones up for Beta and her daughter, first of all. Let's help her on her way. Whistling is like the most novel, useless skill. Like it's really cool, but you can't do anything with it. There's no purpose of it. It's just kind of fun. It's very interesting, Davey. I never was like a big jewelry wearer. I did have earrings when I was in high school. I also had gauges for a little while. I mean, I had like piercings, and I've had, what else have I had? If you ever see me chewing on my lip, it's because I still have scar tissue from my snake bites, and they're chewable. But I started dating a girl, Lucy, actually, when we started dating, and she would buy me jewelry. And that was an interesting thing. Like I had never thought about jewelry and wearing jewelry, and it was like something I had to warm up to. Eventually, I would put jewelry on if we were going to go out to like a big function, or if we were going to go to like a performance. If we had a performance together, I would wear jewels. She was really into draping me up with the shiny stuff. She was really into that. I actually have like a gold. It's like a choker, but it's like the links are squares. It's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. As my neck gets bigger, it threatens to not clasp. Binary to letters. Hold up. Rocket science. Rocket science. Getting the power tools out in a bit. finish some garden projects. Going through my living room to take care of odds and ends. That's basically where I'm at, Jen. I was scrubbing floors yesterday. I was doing counters. Today, we'll put the finishing touches on the kitchen. Maybe I'll hang up my utensils. I have these like hooks. So that'll be pretty neat and accessible, and it will create more space. And then I think I'm going to tackle that bathroom. I think I'm going to scrub that sucker. And then there's literally nothing in my house that's dirty after that. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool. I can be proud to have people over if I so choose, which I probably won't. But at least I have the option, you know? You meet a pretty girl. She's like, hey, can I come over? I'm like, nah, I need to clean my toilet. We're going to try and head that off. I definitely have some split ends myself. I don't know if it's worth cutting just yet. DeAudrey Dore, I hope you didn't go deaf. What's going on? Can you hear me? Oh, the ones? Yeah, we're converting binary to love, to straight love. It's a straight binary to love conversion. 100% efficiency. Eye tracker is for communication with eyes. Detect eye movement and replaces a mouse for the computer. You can write with your eyes, basically. Whoa! Whoa, that's mind-blowing. That's super cool, Peta. Yeah, I really hope that you guys can get that. It sounds like a life changer for your daughter. Me too, Tommy. I made spaghetti meatball last night and slightly overcooked the noodles. That's not something I usually do. Usually I'm pretty good about the pasta, but being quite al dente. And you know how well, I mean, I knew immediately, but it's fine, except twirling doesn't really work when it's a little overcooked. And also, I think I need a strainer. I've been putting the lid on the pot and then grabbing it with like rags or whatever, and then just kind of inverting it and trying not to steam burn my fingers. And that's how I drain it because I don't have a strainer. That also, they might just have been a little wet, but you can't twirl properly when they're a little wet or they're a little overcooked. That's how you really know if it's al dente. Can you twirl it and then it stays? Found a new way to mute my laptop. There are tons of secret hotkeys that do all kinds of stuff. Absolutely. I put a little bit of olive oil on my pasta like when I used to have a strainer, when I drain it, I'll like let it sit there for just a second. I'll throw just a little bit of olive oil in there, kind of toss it and I'll drain it, put a little cold water on it to stop the cooking process or whatever, and then I'll throw some olive oil on it and toss it just enough, right? Just a little bit. It's a little secret. Makes your pasta just Tommy Bird knows. Tommy Bird knows. Me too, Valerie. I mean, I like cooking, but I don't like having to cook. I would much prefer someone to just cook my meals for me. But I can get into it. Just stopping what I'm doing to go do a task like that isn't my favorite thing. I guess that's the distinction for me. No insulting LKF. I'll fight him. Well, if I ever find my way over there, Don, I'll give you a shout, give you a holler. Yeah, my dad's show last night was kick butt. I really, really liked that. I'm gonna have to work on the excitement and the stream of consciousness that man can put out is astounding. It's astounding. I can do it too. I just need to get my ducks in a row. I guess, if I had been doing it for 30 years, I'd probably be killer too, right? So we'll get there. We'll get there. I think really the most important thing I can do right now is educate myself on everything possible. Because I'm quite educated already, but I mean, there's a lot of things that that he can do that I can't because of his knowledge base. So that's something that's easily rectified. Easily rectified. I can teach the crap out of myself. So I think that's going to be my new goal. Get as educated as possible on these subjects as we move forward. And y'all will probably start to see the change in me real time as I start to not fear certain topics. Because I tell you what, I don't know, I think I've shared this before, but one of my greatest fears is not being good enough. One of my greatest fears is just not being able to, not being good enough. Yeah. Not being good enough. Yeah. That is not how you do that accent. I was watching a comedian do a Randy Savage impression, just killed me, just slayed me. So funny. Cream's gonna rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Yeah, cooking as a part of a team is pretty cool. I used to love cooking with Lucy, although I think she liked it more than I did. Who's counting? Much love, much love. Hey, brother. Yeah. And I wish I could do a better impression. You know, I wouldn't be surprised, Tommy. Tommy Bird says, I think a lot of men have that fear secretly. I know I do. I try not to keep any secrets from myself, you know? I have checked out Arrowwood, actually. I come from a large community of psychonauts. Ooh, I almost hit the back button on my mouse. Yeah, I come from a large, sizable community of psychonauts. If I haven't experienced it, I most likely have had a deep discussion about it with a few people. Yeah, Arrowwood is definitely a resource that we use or have used, I guess. Back in the day, we used to extract. We were little hellions, man. When I think I must have been 17. We would extract the dextromethorphan out of NyQuil and basically press it into little tabs like Xanax bars. Dangerous, yo. We used to make ether. We used to do all kinds of crazy stuff. And websites like this, forums and whatnot. There's lots of places on the internet where you can check your information, check your work, share your opinions with other people, and make sure you're not going to kill yourselves and your homies. I also have friends that used to, I don't know what the right word is, but create DMT, extract DMT. Right. We used to do lots of bad things, lots of crazy stuff. And I don't know if that's necessarily bad. It is illegal. You're not allowed to do that in this country, but I guess that's enough. None of that stuff ever served me, though. I mean, it served to help me escape and not face myself. But it didn't actually make me happy. Maybe I felt good for a little bit. And you know, I'm not smoking crack. I'm not having drinks. Shit, I'm not even smoking weed. It's crazy. I never thought I'd see the day that I wasn't smoking pot and drinking. Those have been mainstays in my life for my whole life, basically. And since I discovered them, which is, you know, a dichotomy. It's ironic because when I was younger, before I discovered drugs and alcohol, like I knew what my parents were going through and I knew it was because of drugs. So I was very against drugs and alcohol, very, very against drugs and alcohol. somewhere along those lines. And, funny enough, if we really analyze it, the time frame was after or during the divorce, after my parents got divorced, after my family got ripped apart, and after, my mom chose a new partner and had my sister, and like after all of this stuff had happened, right? Then I decided to try smoking weed and drinking. And, and then I was smoking cigarettes, and then, everything was on the table a few years after that. So it's very interesting. I wonder, did all of those circumstances contribute to that decision? Probably. Did all of those circumstances contribute to me like making that decision at that age as opposed to years earlier? Probably as well. It's just interesting stuff to think about. Interesting stuff to think about. And, I started drinking and smoking, I guess that was 15 or 16, right? I didn't start smoking crack till I was like 30. And I didn't do cocaine until I was, I want to say 20 or 21. But, I have a very colorful, very widespread use story. I'm really happy that that's not my story anymore. I'm really happy that that's not the way that I'm living right now. I tell you what. And, it almost doesn't seem real. Like what I'm doing now is so different. How I'm living now is so different from the way I was living. It almost doesn't seem real. I still kind of expect someone to kick the door in and take it all away. 100%. Because I'm not allowed to have nice things. I've never been allowed to have nice things. Maybe I can have it for a little bit, but, some existential circumstance always kicks the door down and takes it away and says, you know who you are. You're a piece of crap. You don't get to have these things. And I don't think that that's real anymore. I think that that's just an unrealistic fear that I have. Because in reality, what was going on is there wasn't just some alien entity, there wasn't just some emotion kicking the door down and taking my stuff. The reality is I was screwing things up. The reality is I allowed those things to happen through complacency, through bad decision making, through addict behavior. We could go on and on and on. Can you guys hear that leaf blower? I don't know why. They must hear me complaining because they start right outside my door every friggin' day. Every day. They just start right there. Why can't you start over there or over there? What the heck? That makes me mad. I'm going to go out there and give them a piece of my mind. Yeah, my family was like ripped apart. It felt like at that time, all I wanted was my family to be whole again. In my mind, like whatever had been going on between me, my mom, and my dad, like which was they were doing heroin and not taking care of me, right? In my mind, that was better than not having the family together. Like in my young boy's brain, I just wanted our family to be together. That's it. It didn't matter what else was going on. I just wanted dad and mom all in the same room together. And little did I know that was never going to happen again. Not once. Not once, ever. Well, Jen, it sounds like you've got that sucker under wraps. That's really good. I don't think that I could have just one drink. I think that eventually I would convince myself that, I've got this thing under wraps. I'd have a couple tall boys and I'd be wasted, But I'm glad that you understand what's going on and that you're all right. Thank you, Brazy. Thank you very much. And I know it to be true. I'm just it's such a black and white difference of mindset. Like so much has changed in the last year and 3 months. 3 months and can I count days? Like 15 days. Mayonnaise Entertainment survived the weekend sober. Wow. It was a killer weekend too. That's awesome. What a weekend to be sober, man. Hell yeah. Welcome in. Good job. You can do this. It ain't so bad. It definitely can be absolutely atrocious, but it doesn't have to be. It can be fantastic. It's all what we make of it. And That right there is a huge victory, mayonnaise. I'm pulling for you, and I always have been. Rocket Queen LT, good Monday morning, everyone. I definitely need some more coffee, sweet tea. I would love that. I would love that. Very graciously accept coffee from you, sweet tea. You're the best. Thank you. I've been drinking this Cafe Bustelo. I figure if I buy the giant tub of the super bitter espresso stuff, the cheap stuff, that in hard times I will always have a cup. And when it's really, really good coffee, sometimes I overdo it because it's so good, you know? Cafe Bustelo, it gets the job done. It's a little harsh, so it's difficult to overdo. So I have the mainstay, I have the placeholder, so don't worry, I'm not without, but I definitely am out of the good stuff, sweet tea. And let me tell you, it was fantastic. It was so good. It was so good. I miss it. I miss it a lot. And you know, I thought that I was going to have a preference. Those you sent me, like different blends, they were all so good in their own ways. They were all so good. Not everyone's family uses heroin, but most people's families are crazy. And ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Even if my family didn't do dope growing up, we'd still be wild for sure. I mean, you guys know my dad. He's a hellion in his own right. That's for sure. Crazy. I just saw this comment again, and you melt me. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that's beautiful, Davey. Davey says we chase what we want. Mine was family and love. Not sure it's changed. I can respect the hell out of that. I tell you what. I tell you what. I'm scrolling up, guys. I'm way far up in the chat. I think I'm gonna hum the Imperial March the next time I ban someone. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, usually when I'm investigating, I get a little quiet. I should make some noises. Why don't I Imperially march them right out? I think that would be fun. You know? I don't know. Weird things that go through my head. You know, Valerie, that's all it takes for me too. You know, I was trying to describe this phenomenon the other day. Like when I have a couple drinks, something happens to my decision maker. It's like underwater or something. My decision maker acts completely different when I have a drink or two. When historically, when I was a pot smoker, that's not what happens. I mean, I don't have motivation. I am a little lazy, and I might be a little creative and want to dance, right? But I'm not. My decision maker isn't going to get broke. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go do a bunch of things that are gonna hurt my life because I took a couple, bong pulls. And I don't. I don't smoke currently. I'm not smoking. But I think and this isn't necessarily going to be for everyone, but for me personally, there's a huge difference in what happens to my body when I smoke versus when I drink. Um, and it's like the more I've experienced it, the more I've looked at this and analyzed it, like the more stark the contrast is. It's very, very interesting. I only have one sister. Well, that's not true. I do have other siblings, Seventh. My family, let me give you the family breakdown. Maybe it's time. So I'm sure you've heard my dad say, like, technically I'm adopted. Like, he's not my birth father, right? But he raised me. He's always been my dad, as far in my heart, right? Um, but my biological father was in the picture when I was very young, and then we left Texas when I must have been 2. So there was like visitation and phone calls and stuff going on between me and my birth father until I want to say like halfway through 5th grade. I must have been like 9 or 10 years old, I feel like. But when we left Salt Lake, he didn't know where I was. For lack of a more complete explanation, he couldn't find us when we moved from Salt Lake to Nevada. And we have since reconnected, my birth father and I love him to death. He's a great man. If I grow up to be half the man he is, I think I'll be doing a good thing, you know? And so like there's no love lost or whatever. But it is weird, like I don't know how my dads feel about each other. So I don't really talk to them about each other, you know? And I just want everyone to be happy and friends. And I know that I love them both. But it's hard for me sometimes. It's hard for me sometimes to navigate. It's very strange, but I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, more than one sister. So on that side of the family, I have a stepbrother, a half sister, and a stepbrother. Wait, a stepbrother, a half sister, and a stepsister. May was just born, and I probably shouldn't have said her name. She's very young. Y'all are gonna forget, but my half sister was born recently, and she's a little pisser. She's great. I love her. Red hair. That's definitely where my red hair comes from. One day, probably in the not too distant future, y'all end up meeting them because I'll end up going down there on vacation, and odds are I'm going to want to stream. So I do resemble Tommy a ton, and I also resemble my mom and her side of the family. And you know, the nature versus nurture thing, like I feel like I have picked up things from Tommy. I feel like I've picked up things from my birth father. I feel like I have absorbed the powers around me, you know, throughout life, for sure. Right, Hill? I think that would be hilarious, right? Hilarious. I'm gonna Imperial March them right out of here, you know? Kathy Ann, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, I have quite the, you know, I was an only child until my little sister was born. As far as my like world was concerned, right? And she's half my age. So when I reconnected with my birth father and met these other siblings, my family got quite a bit bigger, you know? It was really cool. It was really cool to not just be the only one. You guys should see the other members of my mom's side of the family. Like, I totally look like Tommy. I look like my mom. I look like my uncles. It's crazy. It's crazy. And they all live down in Texas. Texas. I might go down there for Thanksgiving. I feel like Thanksgiving will be hard. I like to go visit Texas family for Thanksgiving because they know how to eat. You feel me? We'll go to like 3 different Thanksgivings. I say that only happened once, but that was one year where the extended family wasn't all happy with each other. So I got to reap the rewards of 3 separate Thanksgiving dinners. But I like to go down there for Thanksgiving for that reason. I don't think that I can do that this year. We might have to do Christmas if I'm gonna commit to going to Texas to visit this year. I don't know if I will, but I think in November I'm gonna be in Hawaii, so it might be difficult to put them both in the same month. And honestly, it might be difficult to put both of those trips back to back, right? November and December. So, but I've been thinking about it a lot. I miss them out there. It's been a while. I think the last time that I visited them was a few years ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, before I started smoking crack. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Huh? Just kidding. Patty Collins, good morning. Good to see you. Ellie J. Hey, better late than never. Sometimes I like to do the Gandalf quote. Wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. And then they both laugh. It's good to see you, Gandalf, you know? It's a good little scene. It's a good little scene. What do you guys think of, for my Lord of the Rings fans out there, what do you guys think of the new, thanks, Patty. What do you guys think of the new announcement for what is it, the Hunt for Gollum movie? What do you guys think? You into it, not into it, over it? I absolutely did say that I'm a redheaded stepchild, which is probably why my dad went with the beat you like a rented mule when I was a kid. The redheaded stepchild was probably too personal. I always thought that was funny when he said stuff like that, though. Lord of the Rings book is sitting 10 feet in front of me. Haven't gotten around to reading it yet. You have never read it. I have a tough time focusing as I age. Well, Wally, I tell you what, that book is going to be real hard to get through. And I'm sure you know this because everyone talks about it, but Tolkien has a way of like taking a whole page to describe like the scene before he gets into like whatever's happening. He definitely takes his time, lots and lots of imagery. And sometimes like my attention span isn't big enough to like really take in what he's trying to tell me. I had to be incarcerated to get through those books. Although one of my dad's favorite stories is that I was reading Tolkien in like third grade or something, which is probably true. I was insatiable when I was a kid. I just could not be sated. I was hungry for everything, curious and curiouser. Isn't that hilarious? I always thought that was the best Rocket Queen. He would tell me, I'm going to beat you like a rented mule. And I'd be like, what's that mean? He's like, you don't have to return it, or you don't have to keep it. You know? I was like, oh, okay. He didn't actually mean it. He never put hands on me like that. Ever. Not even once. They announced that they're making a new Lord of the Rings movie called The Hunt for Gollum. And it has been surrounded by a lot of controversy. Like some people are like, don't do that. Some people are like, sweet. Viggo Mortensen's like, I might do it. Is it going to be good? Which, if you don't know, Viggo is the guy that played Aragorn. And also Hidalgo. But I will say, Wally, like once you get through a little bit of it, once like you're into the story, it's very compelling. It's very, very compelling. It's also like that also worked against me in some ways because I would become so compelled to read. Then I would get stuck on one of those pages that's describing a tree the whole time. And I'm like, oh my, dude, what about the Dark Lord? What about Frodo? You know? Great story. One of the best stories. I wish it was easier to digest. That's why the movies are so good. Literally, like, movies are great. And you're not really missing a whole lot. Like, there is stuff in the books that's not in the movies, but everything that really, the movies are a masterpiece, in my opinion. Well, you know, that has its own benefits there, Body Illusion. Logistics aren't so complicated, eh? Been feeling like a rented mule? I'm sorry to hear that, Rocket Queen. Got to get some sunshine on your face. Heck yeah, Valerie. I cleaned the whole kitchen and scrubbed the floors yesterday. I think today I'm going to get in that bathroom and take care of it. I haven't like cleaned it since I moved in, so it definitely could use it. I'm going to have to get on like a regular cleaning schedule. Sunday is the day I do most of my cleaning. Like I tore it up yesterday. But there's, some more stuff I got to do today. I think I might get out of here, folks. I'm getting hungry. It's time for some breakfast. Maybe we can finish our coffee and then I'll get out of here, huh? Jimena, what's going on? You too, Jimena. I hope you have a great week. Much love. I will, Dawn. I promise. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it certainly makes a difference for us. Catch Carol at Needing a Meeting, 1:40 p.m. Pacific time. Catch me this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And the Admiral will return. The Admiral returns, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have me again, but we'll also have Blessed to Crochet at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. So shout out to our ripples. Shout out to the crew. You guys are what makes this thing do what it do. I'm really happy. Really proud of you guys. And our trajectory is shooting for the sky. We're doing all right here. We're doing all right. Make this week amazing. Monday doesn't have to suck. We're gonna make Monday work for us. All right. See you this evening.